Hello everyone, Correspondent Hater here, back with another EDH guide. Before we get into today's video, I'd like to say, please leave a like and subscribe. Of course, thank you to the 84 of you who are currently subscribed. Use my link in the description to donate to Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Child Cancer and their research. $100, you make a donation, you make a difference. That goes for everyone, which is why you should share this video. Share this video along with other videos. On my channel with other people so they can receive guidance from yours truly and make a donation to the research to possibly cure childhood cancer permanently in the near future, hopefully. Comment on this video, make an EDH request, standard deck tag request, arena content request. Make sure the content you're requesting has not already been previously requested by someone else and has not already been featured on this channel. And whether it's this video or another video, if your comment is first, it's first. And I'll be going in chronological order. But I promise you, I will eventually fulfill everyone's wishes, first or last. With that, so get to the comments. Hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss another one of my videos. So like, subscribe, comment, all that. Hit the notification bell. Share this video along with other videos from my channel with other people. That said, let's get into this video. Ashnod the Uncaring. So this is a artifact creature sacrifice deck, but it's a bit different from what you normally expect. This is Grixis, so blue, black, red. Whenever you activate an ability of an artifact or creature that isn't a mana ability, if one or more permanents were sacrificed to activate it, you may copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. Sacrificing an artifact for mana to activate an ability doesn't count, by the way. So we've got some like synergies with this, some sacrifice stuff that gives us sacrifice fodder. We'll get into that now. Ferret, enterprising salvager. This creature here makes scrap tokens. Scrap tokens are absolutely useless if you're not doing anything with them. You can sacrifice them because they're artifacts. The way you get scrap tokens is, well, whenever a non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you create a colorless artifact token named Scrap. Scrap doesn't do anything, like literally nothing. And you can sacrifice artifacts to put plus counters on Ferret. Go to creatures to make sure they don't attack you, and they have to attack. So they have to attack someone else, but they can't attack you. Discard a card, and then draw a card. One of those three options. So definitely recommend it if you're in a pinch, can get you out. In fact, it might not help you. Urza, Lord High Artificer. We can use our artifacts to play more artifacts to sacrifice. And we can also use our artifacts for mana to pay for its activated ability, to cheat something out off the top of our library. Motech, the Stormlord. So if artifact cards are being exiled from our graveyard or they're leaving our graveyard, we're going to be free each time that happens. We create two Black Necron Warrior artifact creature tokens. So they're both artifacts and creatures. So we'll be able to really make use of them. The second line of text is not all that. Scrap Welder can sacrifice an artifact with mana value of X, and then return target artifact card with mana value X, with mana value less than X from our graveyard to the battlefield. Altar of Dementia. So if we sacrifice like a 9 power creature to Altar of Dementia, because of Ashnod the Uncaring, if we have that out, Altar of Dementia, that ability is going to get copied twice because we sacrificed a creature in order to activate its ability. So we can potentially mill 2 players for 9 cards or 1 player for 18. Whisper, Blood Liturgist. we'll be sacrificing creatures to return creature cards from our graveyard to the battlefield. So if we do that and we have Ashnod, we get 2. It's 2 for 2, not 2 for 1. Pulling Deus. Sacrificing creatures to the thing now puts 2 charge counters on it instead of 1. And when we sacrifice Culling Deus itself, we're going to draw twice the amount of cards than what we normally would. Throne of Geth. You can sacrifice artifacts to proliferate twice now if we have Ashnod out. Toxrill the Corrosive. You can sacrifice slugs to it to draw cards. Slugs are going to be creatures, of course. You can also kill a bunch of stuff in a short amount of time. Token decks will really be hurt by this. At least our opponents will be. We won't. Bushmeat Poacher. Sacrifice a creature with it. We're going to gain twice the amount of life than what we normally would and draw an additional card as compared to only 1. Spawning Pit. Spawning Pit is actually pretty cool because now we just sacrifice a creature to it. It gets 2 charge counters, and then we pay 1 and remove those 2 charge counters, and we get a 2/2 spawn artifact creature token, which we can immediately sacrifice. But before that, we can use Urza. With Urza, we can tap that artifact creature token that we just got from Spawning Pit for 1 blue mana and float it, sacrifice the spawn to get the 2 charge counters, because remember, Ashnod doubles up on activated abilities that involve sacrificing creatures, and we're sacrificing creatures to put charge counters on Spawning Pit. So instead of normally getting 1 charge counter on Spawning Pit whenever we sacrifice a creature to it, we get 2 instead, because the ability is copied by Ashnod. So we sacrifice the spawn we were just given, and we have the 1 blue mana floating from Urza. So now we sacrifice it to Spawning Pit, and we're using the 1. This now gets 2 charge counters. Using the 1 blue mana from Urza, we make another spawn and repeat this process for infinite death, which could lead. First of all, I think I entirely skipped over Oni Colt Anvil. Whenever one of our artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a colorless artifact, a 1/1 colorless artifact creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Not only that, Undercity Informer is still good, but like you could pair this with like Mayhem Devil for like infinite damage right there. Or what else could you pair this with? Could probably pair it with Bastion of Remembrance, like death effects essentially. Undercity Informer. You sacrifice a creature to this thing. With Ashnod out, its ability gets copied. So now target player is going to mill twice the amount of cards that they normally would. They're going to reveal cards from the top of their library until they reveal land card, and then they put all the cards revealed this way into his or her graveyard, and then they're going to have to do that again because we copied the ability. It's only 1. Oh yeah, Pitiless Plunderer. So what you could do is actually with Spawning Pit and Urza and Ashnod the Uncaring, you could generate infinite treasure tokens. So that's infinite sacrifice fodder for like for permanents that like to sacrifice artifacts, or it could just be infinite mana. So you could infinitely use Urza to cheat out basically your entire deck if you want. Or something like Ruthless Knave. You can use those infinite treasures to draw infinite cards, because all you gotta do is sacrifice 3 treasures to draw a card. Because of Ashnod, you'll instead draw 2 cards because the ability will be copied. We can also, on its own, sacrificing a creature to Ruthless Knave here gets us 4 treasures instead of 2, which we can then use 3 of those to to sacrifice another creature to Ruthless Knave and get 4 more treasures, so then we had 5. So if you had some way to generate infinite tokens, like this, if we could have like a token doubler, then you could also get like infinite treasures out of Ruthless Knave and infinite card draw. But Ruthless Knave on its own is amazing in this deck because it gives you a whole bunch of mana for not that much mana, and can turn your treasures into card draw in case you don't really have anything to do with your mana. Urza will give you something definitely to do. Colossus Citadel can if we tap this and sacrifice our 10 non-land permanents, since we sacrifice stuff, if at least one of those is an artifact or a creature, Ashnod's going to copy this ability. So instead of each opponent losing 10 life, they're going to lose a total of 20 because this ability is going to happen twice, which is going to be insane. Kuldotha Forge Master. This will fetch us 2 artifact cards instead of 1 if we have Ashnod the Uncaring out, and shuffle our library twice, of course. So we'll trade 3 in for 2, which could be potentially very good because we could be trading in 3 treasures for like a spawning pit and a Bolas's Citadel. Wall of Limbs has the potential to kill someone because whenever we gain life, we put a plus count on Wall of Limbs. And if it's big enough and we sacrifice him, we have Ashnod out. Target player is going to lose X life, where X is the Wall of Limbs power, and that's going to happen twice because of Ashnod, the Uncaring. I believe, yeah, there is like some ways to gain life. Only Cult Anvil, but that's no. But although there is Bushmeat Poacher, and there's other ways to increase another creature's power, but Wall of Limbs has the potential to kill someone on its own. Yawgmoth Threatened Physician. You pair this with Wall of Limbs, there you go. That could be someone potentially dead because of proliferation, of course. And his other activated ability, his first one, you pay 1 life and he sacrificed another creature to put a plus count onto 1 target creature and draw a card. So instead, you'll be putting. Hold on. Oh, yes. So instead, we'll be able to put possibly 2 -1/-1 counters on a creature and draw 2 cards, or divide up 2 -1/-1 counters among 2 different creatures. Of course, our opponent's control, because why would we do it to our own things? And either way, we're going to be drawing 2 cards. Still pretty good. And with Proliferate, that could end things quickly. Bosch Iron Golem can sacrifice artifacts to it to deal a whole bunch of damage. And with Ashnod out, that damage is going to add up very fast. Witch's Oven can help us gain a bunch of life. In fact, the food tokens it makes sacrifice themselves in order to activate their own ability. Because it's required in the cost to activate the ability of the food token. So instead of gaining 3 life for every food token that you sacrifice, you instead gain 6 because the ability is copied. So you pay 2 and tap and sacrifice the food token. You don't get 3 life, you get 6, which is pretty nice. Academy Manufacturer in conjunction with Witch's Oven, you've got a mean combo. You've got treasure tokens being created, and you've got more than and if every time you use Witch's Oven, you're getting more than 1 food token if you have Ashnod the Uncaring out. And if the creature you sacrificed had toughness of 4 or greater, you create 2 of those food tokens normally. But with Ashnod out, that's got to be 4. Normally, if it's like toughness 3 or less, it's got to be 2 with Ashnod the Uncaring out. So that could be anywhere from 2 to 4 treasure and clue tokens in addition to those food tokens. And you only need 2 mana to sacrifice a food token. Excuse me. And clue tokens sacrifice themselves in order to activate their ability so that they can draw you a card. So sacrificing clues will draw you more cards than normally if you have Ashnod the Uncaring out. Which is why I have Eloise, Nephilia, Saluth. Whenever another creature you control dies, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a token, it's rail 1. Excuse me. So now, create a clue tokens. 2, generic, sacrifice this artifact. You're sacrificing an artifact to pay an activation cost. So the activated ability will be doubled up by Ashnod the Uncaring. Goblin Bombardment. The damage can add up pretty fast. Audacious Reshapers. You gotta be careful with this if you have Ashnod the Uncaring out. Because you may end up killing yourself by accident if you reveal too many cards from the top. But you could get some good artifacts out of it. Bria's Apprentice can help you dig for something you may need, or just buff up your board, get those final few points of damage in. Pia Nolar, we can sacrifice artifacts to make sure creatures can't block. And for each artifact we sacrifice, if we have Ashnod the Uncaring out, that guarantees 2 creatures don't block that combat instead of the normal 1 for every artifact we sacrifice if we did not have Ashnod the Uncaring out. Pia and Kiran Nalar, we can sacrifice artifacts to them so they can deal 2 damage to any target, but that's going to add up fast because we're sacrificing artifacts. You know the deal. Ashnod the Uncaring. And Maid of Dishonor. Can create blood tokens, and we can sacrifice creatures or another creature or a blood token, and then each opponent loses 2 life and we gain 2 life. This can add up fast as well, and the blood tokens themselves, those abilities will also be doubled up, because in addition to tapping the artifact, paying the 1 to activate the ability, and sacrificing it, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I'm pretty sure sacrificing the artifact is an additional cost to activate the ability to draw the card. Which means you'll also be getting more cards out of sacrificing blood tokens. So your blood tokens suddenly go from discard to just draw 1 card to excitement. They turn into like mini excitement of possibilities that you're able to use like one time. Trading Post can do a whole variety of things. 2 of the 4 abilities it has involve sacrificing a creature or an artifact. You can sacrifice artifacts to draw cards, you can sacrifice creatures to return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand, and this has other ways for you to kind of repeat the cycle, because first you discard a card to gain life, then you pay life to create a creature token, then you sacrifice a creature to return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand, then you sacrifice an artifact to draw a card. Kind of a loop. Glass Cast Heart. We activate the second activated ability, which involves sacrificing itself and 13 other blood tokens. If we have an Ashnod out, each opponent's going to lose 26 life instead of 13, and we're going to gain 26 as opposed to 13 in total. And we can pay life, of course, to make vampires. Fane the Broker, another good one. Highly recommend this. Again, 2 of the 4 of his activated abilities here involve sacrificing a creature or an artifact. We can sacrifice creatures to put plus counters on creatures. We can remove a counter from a creature we control to create a treasure token. We can then sacrifice an artifact to create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. And then for 3 generic and a black, we can untap Feign the Broker. Pretty broken. You know what I'm saying? Megatog could possibly finish someone off if we sacrifice enough artifacts to it. And we have Ashnod the Uncaring. This for each artifact we sacrifice in that case. Megatog is not getting +3/+3 and trample until end turn. It's getting +6/+6 and trample until end turn for each artifact we sacrifice to it while we have Ashnod the Uncaring out. So 3 artifacts later, and you've already got a creature that can deal 21 damage and has trample. Yeah. And with the infinite combo I mentioned earlier, well, someone's dead. And unless they have a fog effect. People have been forgetting about those lately. I've been seeing a lot less of them. Surprised we haven't seen like a lot more. It kind of came to me. Probably people haven't been thinking about it. But I would say for a lot of games. Enricure, the Traveler. By the way, what happened to fog effects? Like we're just going too long. Anyways, that doesn't matter. Comment your answers in the below on like what do you think happened to fog. Fog was pretty good. Could save you from like death. I mean, we have stasis coffin, but that's one time. In some cases, and that's a rare card. But anyways, with an Enakir, the Traveler, we can get artifact cards back from our graveyard for free or from our hand for free. Biotransference. All of our creatures we control are now artifacts in addition to other types. And the same is true for creature spells we control and creature cards and we own that aren't on the battlefield. And as we cast artifact spells, we're going to lose more and more life, but we're also going to be creating more 2/2 Black Necron warrior artifact creature tokens that we can sacrifice. Mindslaver, this is just brutal. Read the text and then think about what would happen if you had Ashnod out and you sacrifice this thing. Moving on, Time Sieve. Sacrifice 5 artifacts. If you have Ashnod out, you take 2 turns instead of 1. This could potentially go infinite, and with the infinite combo I actually mentioned earlier, this absolutely can. And there's probably not a thing anyone can do to stop me. Ahadi, Imperium Master. So since we're killing off a bunch of creatures within a turn, this guy's going to be making us treasure tokens that we can sacrifice in later turns if we survive the turn cycle, that is. And everyone hasn't conspired against us because of how dangerous we are up to this point. Grim Hireling creates us treasure tokens. We can sacrifice treasures to potentially kill something off. With Ashnod, that'll be a lot easier, so we'll have to sacrifice a lot less. Ruthless Technomancer. I know that might not be readable, so I'll say it. When Ruthless Technomancer enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature you control. If you do, create a number of treasure tokens equal to that creature's power. So that can be a lot of mana on board for you. And then for 2 generic and a black, you can sacrifice X artifacts and return target creature card with power X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. X can't be 0. So if you have like a creature whose mana cost is less than its power, you could potentially get like something of a discount, kind of, if you think about it that way. Professional Facebreaker. Instead of exiling the top 2 cards of your library, if you have Ashnod out and you sacrifice a treasure to this, you're going to be, just the top card. With Ashnod out, you sacrifice a treasure to this, you're going to be exiling the top 2 cards of your library because the ability is going to be copied. And this creates us treasure tokens as well, so pretty good. Herald of Anguish can sacrifice artifacts to this thing to kill off other creatures, and our opponents slowly have to get rid of their cards in their hand because they're forced to discard. Loreen be Diversion. We can sacrifice artifacts for creatures to this to goad creatures, so force our opponents to swing away from us instead of towards us, which is what we like. Camber the Plunderer to go along with her because of partner. Whenever a creature on opponent controls dies, we gain 1 life and we create a blood token, which is nice because these two feed into each other. Arcbound Ravager can sacrifice artifacts to this thing and make it omega huge. And then if this thing dies, all of its counters are going to be put onto another artifact creature we control, giving that artifact creature a potential chance to kill someone else. Bajorna, Nightfall Alchemist, can sacrifice artifacts to this thing to deal damage and go creatures, kill off like 1/1s, but like big problematic creatures we don't want swinging at us, they're gonna get goaded. Duretti, Ingenious, Iconoclast. This is just a great card overall. It gives us fodder to sacrifice. Can sacrifice an artifact to destroy artifact or creature. This is, well, you aren't paying the additional cost of like sacrificing an artifact to activate the Planeswalker ability, of course. And its ultimate can be pretty brutal. I mean, imagine just having 3 ivory towers or something like that. Clan Crafter. Commander creatures you own have to sacrifice an artifact, put a +++ count on this creature and draw a card. With Ashnod out, she's gonna be getting buffed, and we're gonna be drawing a bunch of cards. Sai Master Thopterus can make us a bunch of Thopters, and we can sacrifice Thopters or artifacts to him in general to draw cards. Treasure Vault. This is an artifact land, and as an additional cost to make all the treasure tokens, in addition to paying X twice, we have to sacrifice Treasure Vault, and that is an artifact that we are sacrificing. So we'll be getting basically what we normally get if we were only paying for 1 X, because you pay the 2 X's, because like the amount like X is split across the 2 X's that you pay for. So say you pay 8 total mana, but then it'd be divided between the 2 X's. So your X value would be 4. But because of Ashnod, you're going to be getting 8 treasure tokens because the ability is copied up. Because you sacrifice an artifact to make all those treasures. Mirror the Moaning Well, it's going to gain us a whole bunch of life. Then we have 16 basic mountains, 16 basic islands, and 16 basic swamps. And with that said, that's this commander guide showing Ashnod the Uncaring wrapped up. Use my link in the description to contribute to the fight against childhood cancer brought on upon by Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Childhood Cancer, 1 cup at a time. $100. You make a donation, you make a difference that goes for everyone. Share this video along with other videos on my channel with other people. Use my so they too, along with you, can use my link in the description. It'll bring you here, of course. Help out your community, help out the world. And so they can also receive guidance from yours truly when building their commander decks. Of course, I've been forgetting to say it. In these are just guides, not you must sort of deals. So for these commander decks, these are just suggestions to get you pointed in the right direction when building these decks. So you can use some of the cards featured, none of the cards featured, or all the cards featured. It really depends on your budget, what you want to do, what cards you have at home. It really depends on you. I'm just here to get you pointed in the right direction, of course, and help you out. Oh, hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss another one of my videos. Comment on this video and all my other videos if you want to, of course, or just any other video in general on my channel, of course. Make an EDH request, and deck tech request, arena content request. Like I said, make sure the content that you want to see featured on this channel has not already been previously requested by someone else and has not already been previously featured on my channel. So like the Red Terror Goblins, that's content that's already technically featured on my channel. The Red Terror Dragons is not. Anyways, I'm losing my train of thought. So make a comment. And if you don't want to make a request, make a comment anyways. I like the positive feedback from you guys as always that you provide. When you do comment most of the time, oh, cannot speak. And like and subscribe. Thank you to the 84 of you who are currently subscribed. What should we do for 100 subscriber milestone? What should I do? Please comment that down below. I need ideas. I would like ideas. Also, I've been meaning to ask since yesterday. With school and everything, it's I've been having to do sometimes as of recently do finish up like the slide presentations at home or even like do the whole thing, which is fine. I'll do anything for you guys to provide, of course, give you something to do on your evenings after like a day of work or something. But do you want me to post weekly instead of daily? Let me know. Speaking of posting, I actually could use your guys' help with posts. I've been given the ability to post by YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. As of like a few weeks ago or so. So I could probably, if I remember to, make like a poll or something. You guys could like vote for the next commander that you'd want to see. If you guys would be interested in doing it that sort of way. They could replace the requests entirely if you want that. Just let me know. Help me so I can help you. With that said, leave a like on this video, subscribe. Thank you to the 84 of you who are currently subscribed. You can be one of those people. You just guys tap the subscribe button, of course. And of course, stay subscribed. I highly encourage it. Hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss another one of my videos. Share this video along with other videos on my channel, on my channel with other people so they can use my link in the description and receive guidance from yours truly. Use my link in the description to make donations to contribute to ALSF's research, or Alex's name stand for Foundation for Childhood Cancer, so we could possibly cure it in the near future. Hopefully, $100. You make a donation, you make a difference because you're contributing to the research. You're contributing to a good cause. Comment on this video, make an EDH request, your deck tech request, arena content request, that sort of good stuff. And yeah, that's it. See you guys tomorrow.